Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Atari 2600 Retro Achievement guide slash walkthrough slash gameplay. Today I'm going to be doing the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark game. As you can see, Retro Achievements has this set up as about a 6.27 right now for the completion and ratio, which is really high for most games. Anything usually above like a 3 or 4 can be pretty difficult for most achievements. This game is not that hard, and the achievements that you can get for this game are actually not that difficult. They're not something you'll have to bang your head against the wall to get. If you follow some of these guides and this walkthrough, you'll find that it's pretty easy to get. The hardest part of this game is the time to wait in between the staff of Ra. Sometimes waiting for the sun can take about 2 to 3 minutes. I found that was probably the most irritating part, is having to wait for that and then go back and do another run in case you died or lost some items or something. So it's more of a time suck than, and it cannot be if you follow the guide pretty accurately. So this is a Atari game that came out in 1982. It was made 1 year after the actual movie came out. If you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie first. I really highly recommend it. I thought it was a great movie. And this game, there's a lot of little things that reference the movie that you can pick up on a lot easier than just picking up the game. And everything else was kind of cryptic if you didn't know the actual movie. The game is still got a lot going on to it. I really enjoy this game now since I played through it again. I forgot how really good it was. It's just got a lot of stuff in it. And you have to the manual was pretty extensive. They did tell you how to basically beat the entire game in the manual. I don't think I ever read it as a kid, but, now that I look at it, it is pretty extensive, and it does tell you how to go about beating the game. There's a lot of really great Easter eggs and achievements in this Retro Achievement set. I highly recommend checking it out. It was a lot of fun to play. Probably one of the most fun games I've played in a while. But that being said, I'm going to get into one of the reasons this is probably such a high ratio is that controller setup and settings on this is kind of goofy. It used 2 separate controllers. It used a left controller and a right controller because they didn't have multiple buttons on one controller, so they wanted to be able to have an item selection screen. So the left controller is used for movement and item usage. The right controller would be used for item selection and dropping items. So I'll show you how to set that up in RetroArch right now. The way I did it, it seems like that was kind of one of the things I had to try to figure out and get set up. So I'll go ahead and do that now. You go into your quick menu in the RetroArch settings, and you go down to controls. You can go down to your port 1 controls. You can set up your main settings. You can put as many ports as you want, up to 5, I believe, or even more than that. I don't know. I have mine set just for 2. And you go down to device type. You can go to joystick and do your map port as 1, and I just turned off all the D-pad selections. You can use the D-pad if you choose to do that, if you prefer that, for whatever game controller you're using. And then the cross button I use for firing. That's basically your 1 fire button for your joystick. And I left all the other settings the same. Left analog stick settings are up, down, left, and right. That's going to be your movement. I turned off all the right analog settings. Then I went into my port 2 controls, and I put in port 2, map port 2, joystick, nothing on the D-pad. I use the circle button for the fire button. So you have, the 2 buttons right there. And then I turned off all the analog on the left, and for the right analog, you want to turn left and right on. And if you do this, then that way you can select items with your right joystick and move with your left joystick. Drop items with your circle button, and use items with your cross button. So you want to make sure you go in your remap files, manage your remap, and save that setting. That way, if you come back out, if you go into map files, you can save game remap file, and then you can save it as that. By doing that, you're going to be set to go if you ever want to pause and then come back into the game and start again. You can just load that map file back in, and you don't have to keep resetting it every time. So with that, I'm going to get into the gameplay. I'm going to do a full gameplay through with commentary first. And then I'm going to post my achievements that I got, the other playthroughs that you can't necessarily all do in one playthrough. Some of them you have to do different playthroughs because you'll have to get certain items or do certain things. And then at the very end, I did a playthrough for the Yars Easter egg and Warshaw, where you can get the last achievement, which is you've seen the developer initials at the end with the highest score. And I'll put that at the very end of this video. If you want to jump to any of those areas and see any of those things, go ahead and check the timestamps below in the description. If you have any questions at all about any achievements or how I got some of the achievements along the way, go ahead and leave me a comment. If there's, something that one particular or multiple people want to see me do, I can also create a guide on just how I got that particular achievement. But most of it's straightforward, except for those last 3 playthroughs that I got. And if you just do those last 3 playthroughs and follow through on those, then you should be able to get those achievements. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's get this run going here. We're going to grab the whip. That is a whip. Weird as it looks. This is the marketplace. So here you're going to be able to get all the items that you need to start the game. Each one of these baskets has a different item. You got a pistol, you got a key, there's 2 sheiks that are selling. One sells a flute / recorder type thing, and another one sells a parachute. This has a grenade in it. So what we'll do here is I'll show you, we use the gold bag on that guy. We buy the recorder thing, and then we don't take any damage from the snakes. Like, we can basically run over the snakes because, we hate snakes. And you just hang out of these baskets for a bit, and eventually you will get the Staff of Ra. So we're just going to be waiting on that. As soon as that pops up, it'll always pop up in one of these baskets. You just got to kind of wait around for it. There it goes. There's a Staff of Ra. We're going to go up and keep the flute on for now, just to avoid that snake. Get up here. We're going to use a grenade on this wall. You want to leave the room, otherwise you're going to die. We'll go back up, and you can see that the wall's blown away up there. We're going to go in through this wall. Let's go ahead and get rid of the flute and the gun right now. This is a timekeeper. If you push the button, you can see that it's 3 o'clock right now. And there's different times that the Ankh, which is something that we need, is going to spawn. And those times are 10:30, 1:30, and 6 o'clock. So if you look, it's at about 4:30 right now. Go down here and just wait a second. We'll wait until 6, and once it hits 6, then we know the Ankh will spawn. So we can walk in the other room, which is the treasure room, and grab that. There's other items that spawn in that room. There's an hourglass and the chai. Those are both used for other achievements too. They're pretty easy achievements to get through, and if you need help with those, just let me know in the comments and I will let you know how to do them. So now that's 6, we go in here. There's the Ankh that we need. We're going to grab that. I'm going to go ahead and drop the timekeeper right now, and we will go ahead and see if we can get another gold here. Get one more. You can go in and out of that room as many times as you want to get gold and whatnot. And keep having other stuff respawn. So we'll grab 2 of those. I'm going to go ahead and go back into the room and grab another gold at this point. Reason being is that we don't need the whip right now because we just need the Ankh. To use this Ankh, we have to be out of that room. And so we use it. We jump here. This is the Mesa. And the goal of the Mesa is to use a grappling hook to try to get to these other little yellow areas. So you're going to press up and down on your controller, and it will expand that little dot that's going around the screen out and in. And as it goes over the yellow area, you just hit your button to fire it. And you just want to keep going down to get through this. Once you get through the bottom, you remove the Ankh from your inventory. You go to your key. Go straight down from this area right here, and you'll be in the Staff of Ra room. and you got to have the key set to be able to go into here. Once you're in here, you can go ahead and set it to the Staff of Ra, and you're just going to basically wait here. The spawn for this is when it's just going to show the location of the Ark on the map. So basically the map above you is the Mesa laid out, and you get at about 4 minutes and 40 seconds is when the sun spawns, and it always spawns at the same time. So just be aware of that. And you can just sit here and wait for that. And this is one of the harder parts because you're just sitting and waiting, not really doing anything. And then there's always a chance you can die and lose your run later. And then this is just kind of a time suck, so kind of bummer. But either way, adding commentary to it is sped it up a little bit. Normally I'm here way early and I'm just kind of sitting around doing nothing. So we got about 5 seconds left before the sun will start to rise. And as it rises up, there it is. We got the Ark on the left-hand side. It's flashing on the second pillar thing. That's one of the harder locations to actually hit. So make sure you switch back to the key here, because the key will allow you to leave this room without falling. Then you're going to go straight down into the Den of Thieves. We're going to go right, left, and you're kind of going down at the same time. Watch this bottom guy. If he touches you, there's kind of a thing in the middle that will, is black, and it makes it a little bit harder to get through that board. But once you kind of like scrub the bottom part of that board, you'll be in another marketplace. This marketplace has some more stuff in it. You have 2 more vendors, one that sells bullets, one that sells a shovel. And we're going to go over the shovel, and you need 2 gold to buy this shovel. So we're going to use 2 gold on that and get the shovel. The shovel is needed to get the Ark. There's an insanity dude over there. He will kill you, so don't walk over by him. There's an achievement associated with him that if you give him some gold, it'll pop an achievement. We don't need the key anymore because we're not going to be going into that Ra room anymore. I am going to hang on to this Staff of Ra, though, and I'll show you why in a second. Go up here, and we're going to use this gold and buy the parachute. So now we have the shovel and the parachute. And with the Staff of Ra, we're going to go in a secret room over here. You could go in through the hole in the wall that was up there. Actually, let me go grab... Before we do that, let's go grab the... I don't want to get hit by a snake here, though. That's a problem. We'll grab the whip real quick. I'll go down and show you this. If you hit your fire button and use that, you can sneak in through that way and go back. You're going to go back to that treasure room that we started on. Got the first Ankh here. You can use the hourglass to get to the Ark too. Want to get through the Mesa, option. But I prefer to use the Ankh because it just makes it easier because you spawn right in the middle and you can spawn from any room basically. Go ahead, drop this gold bag. I can drop another gold bag. We actually don't need this Staff of Ra either anymore. Go ahead and use this Ankh, and we're going to go to that right hand side over there is where the Ark is. So what we're going to do is try to place our cursor over that and spawn over there. We're going to drop the Ankh, and now we're going to go to make sure I select our parachute. And here you're going to go down. You're going to hit the parachute. You're going to fire the parachute. Don't drop it. And then glide over to a tree stick that is sticking out. And you're going to kind of finagle it. You got to get used to this. It's probably the hardest part of the entire game. Once you get it down, you can get it down pretty easily. And you're going to go to the left, get on a little bit underneath the branch there, and it'll kind of suck you in. You'll see in a second. So let's do that. And then once you get here, you make sure you deselect that and watch out for these thieves. And you're going to go over this mound right here is where the Ark is. And you're going to start hitting A or your trigger button, whatever you have. And just like that. Under 10 minutes for that. And that's basically the gist of the game. There's a lot of little nuances and things that you can do for the achievements that make it a lot of fun. And I really recommend checking it out and doing it. But I will put the other achievement run-throughs that I have for some of those in there, and I hope you enjoyed it.